Hello students, my name is David and you are welcome to our first JAMB 2026 tutorial. Okay, so I will be taking this tutorial in series and I would always leave a code so that you know that this is the next one just after this particular one. So for this tutorial, I'll be taking top 50 JAMB 2026 questions that you should expect. These questions were taken from past trend, syllabus, and the JAMB, echo system on questions generally. So just go along with me and enjoy it. Okay, and if you are yet to be subscribed, I guess you should do so because we are also uploading for the other subjects. Okay, so that you would not be left out and not miss out on anything. All right, so the first thing I have here for you is what's your objective for JAMB 2026? What's your goal? What's your target? So as a good student that you are, a serious student that you are, you should have an objective. For example, you can have an objective of having an overall score of 350. That's my own objective, although I'm not writing JAMB. So you can have an objective of, I want to score 350 in JAMB 2026. You don't say, yay, it's not, it's possible. So it's not impossible. So you have an overall score of 350. Then you can now have, okay, for my English subject, I want to have 95, inclusive your literature and English. So have an objective. So when you have an objective, break it down into subject scores, then determine the amount of effort that will be required to get at that subject scores. And you're already on your way to getting your desired subject score of 350. With 350, you can get admission into any school and any course in your country. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. So, look at the first question here. It says, choose the word that is most nearly opposite in meaning to the word in capital letters. What's the word in capital letter? Hasty. So we are told that from the options, we should give the word that is opposite or most nearly. They didn't say opposite in meaning because there is no word here that is directly opposite in meaning to hasty. But there is at least one word here that is very closely opposite in meaning to the word hasty. What's hasty, by the way? It's being in a rush, okay, and doing things quickly, doing things in a rush. So which of these words would be opposite to doing things in a rush? We have prompt, which is like snappy, doing things quickly. We have deliberate, which is like taking your time, okay, being intentional, taking your time to do stuff. Then we have speedy, which is just like hasty, doing things on the fly. We have rash. Rash is fast, is kind of disorganized in doing things, and then fast too. So deliberate seems like the nearly opposite in meaning to hasty because when you are deliberate, you take your time, you plan, and then you take your steps one after the other. So the option we go with for this question is option B, deliberate. Question 2. Choose the option that best completes the sentence. She is very good dash mathematics. She is very good in mathematics. Yes. So when you are talking about language, you use in. Okay, she's fluent in English. She's good in mathematics. I know some persons may say art, but for the sake of language, most of the time, or it's more correct to use in. She's very good in mathematics. She's very good in English. I'm good in such and such a subject. Okay, so the correct option here, or the best option from this option. Art would also work, like I said, but the best option would be in, all right, which is option B. Question 3. Choose the word that best completes the sentence. The company has placed and dash on new recruitments. The company placed something on new recruitment. What's that stuff? So we have embargo, emphasis, invoice. Invoice is like a document that is made for purchase goods. Then emblem. So embargo is the suitable word or the word that from the list of words here that completes this sentence. The company has placed an embargo. Embargo means something like a ban, a restriction. It's like when Donald Trump placed embargo on certain countries from coming into the United States. So that's just like a ban or a restriction. So the company has placed an embargo. Embargo, option A, is the correct option. And then question 4, choose the most appropriate synonym of the word in bold. What's the word in bold? Reprimanded. So the teacher reprimanded the student in front of the class. The word in bold. Most appropriate synonym. What's synonym? That's closely related in meaning. Okay, another word for. Yes, so which of the words here from option A to D is related to reprimanded? So we have praised, ignored, scolded, congratulated. Sometimes you may not even know what the grammar means, what the vocabulary means, reprimanded. But when you read the sentence, you can get an idea. So the teacher reprimanded the student. That means it doesn't look like a good stuff, a good thing. So the teacher like scolded, tongue lashed the student in front of the whole class. So scolded would be the correct option here for reprimanded, or the best suited word for reprimanded. Question 5. Choose the correct option to complete the sentence. Hardly had I reached the bus stop, dash, the bus left. Hardly, see now you have hardly, hardly had. This is past tense, past perfect tense. Hardly had I reached the bus stop when the bus left. So hardly always go with when. Hardly always go with when. Okay, yeah. So question 6. So when is the option there? Okay. Question 6. Correct. Choose the correct word to fill the blank. He has lived in Nigeria, dash, he was born. Now, there's a trick for this, which is that when you are dealing with a point in time, you use since. Okay, he has been in Nigeria since he was born. When you are referring to a point in time, never forget it. Okay, so you can keep that at the back of your mind. When you are dealing with a point in time, you use the word since. So he has lived in Nigeria. He has, singular. Okay, singular, correct. He has lived in Nigeria since he was born. So A is the correct option. Question 7. In the context of journalism, what does beat mean? Journalism, news reporting, media coverage, or what have you, media reporting. So in the context of journalism, what does the word beat mean? Now, mind the instruction. It says in relation to journalism, because beat could mean a lot of things. You've had beat around the bush, you've had beat the child. Literal, it could be literal, it could be figurative. So in the context of journalism, not another context, that's instruction. So what does beat mean? Some persons might not know this except you've come across it before. Yeah, but definitely it's not punishment, it's not reading, because if they didn't say in the context of music, yeah, it's assigned area of coverage. It's like even in security also, this word applies. Where you say, I'm going to my beat, that means I'm going to my area. We use it a lot in my service group in church. So I'm going to my coverage area where I'm posted to, my beat. You get that? So it's used in journalism. It's also used in some other profession. Question 8. In a banking context, teller refers to what? In a banking context. Now, some persons will think teller is that piece of paper they get. It's true. But note the instruction. Okay, in a banking context, teller is often referred to the cashier in the bank. And they say, go and meet the teller. Okay, go and meet the teller. Okay, it's often referred to the cashier. Okay, question 9. Choose the correctly punctuated sentence. That means which of these sentences is well punctuated. It's punctuated correctly. Right. Let's say the first one. However, he tried, he could not lift it. 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 Now there's too much space in here, so this is wrong. Okay. I wonder what this is doing there. So there's too much spacing, this is wrong. Then let's see another one. B is also wrong. However, he tried, he could not lift it. It's also wrong. Now, one of the tricks I have in solving MCQs as this is that you take out the two incorrect or illogical option, leaving you with the answer and one more logical option, something that makes sense when you read it. Because you're not going to know all the answers, okay? You're not going to know all the answers, but you can always positively guess or rightly guess some. Yeah. So when you take out the two that doesn't make sense, you are left with the two that really close to it. So however he tried, he could not lift it. Seems correct. However he tried, he could not lift it. C, option C is the answer. There is no need for this comma right there. Okay, question 10. Choose the sentence that is grammatically correct, meaning just one of these sentences is grammatically correct. Let's see. Option A, neither Ade nor Tola have arrived. B, neither Ade nor Tola is arrived. No, this is how local people speak, okay? Neither Ade nor Tola has arrived. Then neither Ade or Tola has arrived. Now there's something called subject-verb agreement. Now you can see the subjects here. What are the subjects? The individuals here, which are Ade and Tola. What's the verb? Have, is, has, or this has. Now the subject here also is singular. Neither. Neither means not one. That is, not one is neither. So, and when you are using one, when you are using not one, or when you are using singular subject, your verb must be in the singular. Meaning that if you are to read this, it should be C, option C. Neither Ade nor Tola has arrived. Okay? Neither Ade or Tola has arrived. Not is arrived. This is not grammatically correct. It doesn't even sound well to the ear. So you go with option C. Question 11. Choose the synonym of dormant. That means another word to dormant. You have active, sleeping, lazy, energetic. Someone who is dormant is in a state of inactivity or rest. Okay, so sleeping is best suited there. Sleeping is the best synonym from the list of these words for dormant. Question 12. Choose the antonym of frugal. Antonym will mean what? The opposite. Frugal. Someone who is frugal is very conservative, very managerial. Okay, the person manages money a lot, keeps documents, keeps records. Frugal. Yes. The person is a good manager. Some persons may relate it to being stingy. If you manage too much, you're stingy kind of. So but what's the opposite of frugal? Extravagant. Someone who is blowing money. Okay, so that's extravagant. 13 rather. Can I borrow your dictionary? What's the tag for it? Can I borrow your dictionary? Yes, I can. No. No. Yes, you could. No. That tag doesn't work. Yes, you may. Okay. Yes, you may. It's close. Yes, of course. It's better. Yes, so yes, you may can work, but yes, of course, it's better for this tag, response tag to the question. Yeah. Question 14. I didn't see you at the party last night. Okay, so which of these responses would Which of these words will fill for the response or will make for the response? Let's see that. I didn't see you at the party last night. Actually, I had to study for a test. Or honestly, I had to study for a test. Or instead, I had to study for a test. Okay, so then really, I had to study for a test. Okay, so someone has asked, person A has asked this question, and person B was to make this response. Which of these words would be perfectly suited for a response? It would be actually, right? Not honestly. Honestly, I had to study. No, no, no. I didn't see you, or yeah, I didn't see you at the party last night. Actually, I had to study for a test. That's that's the correct response that you give to such question. Question 15. He lost the election because he failed to dash his supporters. Which of these would fill in here correctly? He lost the election because he failed to dash his supporters. We have march, march, muffle, marshal. Marshal means gather, gather, gatherer, to bring together. So he lost the election because he failed to bring together, all right, his supporter, marshal. Marshal is another word for bringing together. Question 16. The man is very fluent. We've already come across this question before. And I said when you're talking about language, you use what? In. So the man is very fluent in English. 17. The plural of crisis is what? You have crises. No. You have crisis. You have crisis. You have crises. Yeah. So this is the correct answer, and it has an unusual plural, which is the es. Yeah, that's an unusual plural. You know, most plurals will just have an s, but this have an unusual plural, just like child, children. That children has an unusual plural. So for crisis, just change the I to E. Another word like that that's related to that is analysis. So when you have to write the plural of analysis, you just change also the I to what? To E. 18. Choose the correct transformation of indirect speech. He said, I am going to the market. Now, this is a direct speech. You want to put it in the indirect format. Which is it going to be? A, he said I was going to the market. B, he said he's going to the market. C, he said that I'm going to the market. D, he said that he was going to the market. Okay, he says. So A is the correct option. This is the direct speech. He said, I'm going to the market. So you want to put it in the indirect speech. He said that he was going to the market. Okay, so that's correct. If you need more explanation on some of these questions, you can, or you're not clear, or maybe something I said you don't seem to understand, you can leave your questions in the comment section and I will be so glad to take them and point light to your questions. Let's continue. Question 19. Choose the correct punctuation mark to complete the sentence. She brought bread, eggs, milk, dash, and cheese. Which of these punctuation mark would best fit here? She brought bread, eggs, milk, dash, and cheese. When you are listing options or variables or um, objects in a sentence, you separate by comma. You've already seen it in the preceding um, items. Bread, comma, eggs, comma, so milk, comma, and cheese. Right? Good. 20. Choose the most appropriate word. The man was arrested for giving a false dash in court. Now, whenever a person is brought to court to give his opinion or an idea of what happened or a testament of what happened, it is called a testimony. Yes, he is a witness, but he is giving his testimony. You say, wow, but in church, whenever I'm in church, when you give testimony, it's a good stuff. Yeah. Yes, in the law court, it's called testimony, not evidence, not statement. It's in the police station, you give statements. But in the law court, you give testimony. This is what I witnessed. This is what happened. So it's called testimony. Question 21. Fill in the blank with the correct web form. Each of the students dash expected to submit an essay. Now you can see each has made the sentence singular because it means one. Okay. Each of the students is because each has made the students. That means the students have to come one by one, submit their essay. So is the correct option. 22. Choose the correct sentence. The woman which you saw is my aunt. The woman whom you saw is my aunt. The woman whom you saw is my aunt. The woman that you saw, I is my aunt. this one is not there at all. D is not there at all. The woman who you saw is my aunt, or aunt, or whatever you like to call it. The woman whom you saw is my aunt. So whom, use whom when you're talking about personality. The woman whom you saw is my aunt. 23. What does the idiom spill the beans mean? You definitely have seen that a lot. It's an idiomatic expression. Doesn't mean to waste food. Reveal a secret. Cook carelessly. Just cook anyhow, waste the food, waste the beans, or avoid punishment. Definitely to reveal the secret. Spill the beans. I've also had let the cat out of the bag. Okay, so it's something related to that, to reveal the secret. Spill the beans. He just dropped the secret. So reveal the secret. 24. Choose the correct spelling. Successful. The word here that you have to spell correctly is successful. Now note that successful is gotten from the word success. That means full of success. So, and how do you spell success? Success has 2 C and 2 S. Never forget it. 2 C and 2 S. So, successful. That will be option C. Question 25. Choose the option that best completes the sentence. Had he studied harder, he dash had passed the exam. He would have passed the exam. Now, this is an unreal conditional in the past participle unreal conditional. So had he didn't. So this is like a regret statement. Okay, so that's why it's an unreal conditional. Had he studied harder, he would have passed the exam. Is that clear? Good. 26. Choose the opposite of the word in capital letters. Concise. Concise. The opposite of the word concise is what from this. Concise would mean precise, direct. Yeah. So the opposite of the word in capital letter, if concise means precise, direct, straight to the point, what would the opposite be from this? It would be wordy. That means a lot of it. just go ahead. Okay, so wordy would be the correct opposite for concise. 27. In the context of medicine, what does diagnosis mean from this option? Is it identification of a disease, a type of treatment, a recovery stage, a surgery technique? Diagnosis would be identification of a disease. That's what diagnosis is. So I'm going to the medical hospital for diagnosis. That means I want them to check me. I'm going for a checkup. So identification of a disease. No order of this option describes what diagnosis is. 28 now. Okay. Identify the figure of speech in this statement or this speech. The thunder grumbled like an old man. The thunder grumbled like an old man. It's personification. Personification is when you describe you describe an object, okay, or a non-living thing with character or traits of a human. Simple. When you describe a non-living thing, an object with traits of a human. Okay, so the thunder grumbled. Thunder is an inhuman thing, it's a non-living thing. So it grumbled. Thunder cannot grumble. So it's just a figure of speech. The thunder grumbled like an old man. So that's personification there. 29. Choose the correct option to complete the sentence. If you had told me earlier, I would have helped you. We've seen something like this before. So let's just go on. If you had told me earlier, I would have helped you. Had told, would have. Had told, would have. Whatever happens to the left has to happen to the right for the sentence to be balanced. Then 30. Choose the synonym of benevolent. Benevolent. That's another word for benevolent. You have kind, proud, angry, strong. Kind. Benevolent is a kind person and a giver, a nice person. Usually somebody who gives. A charitable person. Okay, so we are now at question 30. Yeah. You are yet to be subscribed and you have come with us this far. What are you waiting for? I think you should do it now so that when I release updates to these questions, I'm going to be taking the more tougher ones, the more advanced ones as we prepare ourselves for JAMB 2026. 31. Choose the correct phrasal verb. We must dash the plan until we get more funds. Which of these phrasal verb works in the sentence? We must dash the plan until we get more funds. We must put in the plan, put off the plan, put on the plan, put to the plan. Because the statement is talking about abandoning something because of lack or insufficiency of money. Put off. Put off will mean to put something aside, abandon something because of whatever reason. So in this case, it's about money. So put off fits in that sentence properly. 32. Choose the correct sentence. Neither the boys nor the girl are here. Neither the boys nor the girl is here. Neither the boy nor the girl is here. Neither the boys nor the girl be late. Again, this one is not even there. D is not there. Then C, it can't be girls and is, because girls is in the plural and is in the singular. So also wrong. What about B? Neither the boys nor the girl is late. Okay, yes, girl. Because according to the subject verb rule of agreement, the verb will always agree to the nearer subject. We have two subjects here, boys and girl, and the girl is in the singular, so is has to be singular. Okay? If you are enjoying it, leave in the comment section, oh, I'm enjoying this. Alright? Or I enjoyed it, because you will have been watching it hours after. Okay, 32. 33 now. Choose the word with the correct stress pattern for 2 syllables. A, record. Okay? No, A is record, because it's a noun. Record. B, record. C, record. Stress does not work here, so this is not correct. And D, record. Okay, so what we are concerned about is A and B. Now, interesting. They are the same spelling, the same word, but their intonation, their sound is different when you are using them for different purposes. For example, the first one is a noun, which will be record. Record. Okay, for example, play me the record, which is like play me the tape, play me the music. Okay, play me the track. So the track is a thing, is a word, is the name of a thing, which is what? A noun, naming word. But I have verb here, second option, which says record my voice. I'm asking you to take an action. or record the scene, record this meeting. I'm asking you to take an action, and verb is what? An action word, right? So the way you pronounce, the way you do your mouth or pronounce this word in different contexts is different. Record or record. So choose the word with the correct stress pattern. Okay, so that would be record. Record has the stress where it should be. That's on the RE, the first syllable. Is correct. Now, question next. Transform this sentence. The car is too expensive for me to buy. No, it's not. Nothing is expensive for me. The car is too expensive for me to buy. Change it. Transform the sentence. Change it to what? The car is very expensive that I cannot buy it. I cannot buy the car because it's very expensive. I can afford the car because it's not too expensive. I will buy the car even though it's expensive. No. It says, which of these options defines or can substitute for the statement in bold? The car is too expensive for me to buy. And that option will be, I cannot buy the car because it's very expensive, but not for me. That's option P. 35. Okay, choose the word that best completes the sentence. He drove so fast that he nearly knocked a pedestrian. Now, when you're talking about accident, because that's what this is, there was an accident almost happened. You say knock down. You use knock down when you're talking about an accident, not knock off. No. Knock down a pedestrian. So A is the correct option there. Question 36. Identify the error in the sentence. Each of the boys have submitted his assignment. Each of the boys have submitted his assignment. Now, each is in the singular. Have is in the plural. Wrong. That's wahala. So, if each is in the singular, this has to be what? Has. So that they would work well. The subject and the verb will work well. Okay, so this is the error. Have is the error. Okay, option B. 37. Choose the most appropriate option. We had hardly settled down. Dash the light went out. We are talking about a point in time also. We had hardly settled down when the light went out. That's C. 38. Choose the word with the correct antonym of the capitalized word. What's the capitalized word? Stingy. The word opposite, the opposite word for stingy will be what? Mean, generous, selfish, frugal. Someone who is stingy will be what? The antonym of that, the opposite of that will be what? Generous. So someone who is stingy, the opposite of the person will be generous. The person is a giver, benevolent, charitable. Those are closely related word to generous. 39. Choose the most suitable expression. She was accused of stealing the missing file. Yes, when you're talking about accusation, use of. Accusation. Was accused of stealing. She was accused of lying. So, of. 40. Which of this is an example of personification? Okay, so we've seen, I explained personification not too long ago. The car roared past us. I said it's when you use when you compare objects to humans, to characters of humans. Okay. So the car roared past us. Her smile was bright. He was as brave as a lion. She cried rivers. She cried rivers. That's so interesting. Okay, he was as brave as a lion. No. Okay, because lion and E are both human, but it will be the car rad pastors. Okay, so because cats don't roar, it's either human or lions that roar. So personification. I said objects given human traits. Yes, that's what personification is. Option A is the correct option. Now, do you know that you can practice hundreds or probably thousands of questions as this on our apps, and for the most part for free? Yes, you can. If you check in the description of this video, you see a link to download the apps either on App Store or Play Store. You can download the apps and begin to practice questions right away. Yeah. 41. Choose the correct transformation. He is too young to vote. So what's the correct transformation from this for this sentence? He's too young to vote. He's very young, he can vote. No. He's old enough to vote. No. He is so young that he cannot vote. Correct. He's too young to vote. 42. Fill in the blank with the correct preposition. The principal word, what's the preposition? Is simply a word, either a noun, okay, that connects two nouns together. It could also be a pronoun in some cases that connects two nouns or two pronoun or a noun and a pronoun together. Okay, so fill in the blank with the correct preposition. The principal was annoyed with the student's behavior. Now, not just with can work here. The principal was annoyed at the student's behavior and also work there. The principal was annoyed at the student behavior. The principal was annoyed with the student behavior. Yes. But we would use with. The principal was annoyed with the student behavior. So, but at can also work. 43. Choose the most appropriate synonym for elated. Elated. Which of these is closely, very close to elated? Elated means excitement. Yes, so excited is the most appropriate synonym for elated from this option. 44. Identify the figure of speech. His words cut deeper than a knife. Compares words to a knife without like or has. Yes. Metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison literary device that compares words without the use of like or has. Now I have a question for you, which you can leave in the comment section. If you get it correctly, I will give you something nice. I won't tell you, but I will give you something and I will message you for that stuff. So the figure of speech or the literary device that you can use like or has in it works perfectly is what? For example, as bold as a lion will be what? What's the literary device that you can use like or has? For metaphor, you cannot use like or has. So this is metaphor. It's what's cut deeper than a knife. 45. Okay, dialogue completion. Complete this dialogue. Mother. Okay, the mother asks the child, why are your eyes red? The child responds, nothing, I slept well. It was dust, not tears. My eyes are always red. When you're not a drunk. Why do you ask? Okay, so which of these options would be an appropriate or the best answer to give to the mom? The mother asks, why are your eyes red? Will it be nothing? I slept well. It does no. Should this say you slept well or not? No, this is not correct. Let's see. It was dust, not tears. Oh, now this is correct, but this looks deceptive because she didn't. It looks like he's hiding something. Why are your eyes red? It was dust, not tears. He's hiding something. My eyes are always red. His African parents should slap you right there. So this is not correct. Then why do you ask? You can't tell your mommy that. So this is not correct. Then 46. Sentence correction. If I was you, I would apply immediately. So what should this part be? If I am you, if I were you, I wear. If I were you, I wear is the correct one. 47. Identify the part of speech for the word in bold. She spoke to him in a harsh tone. She spoke to him in a harsh tone. Excuse me. Harsh tone. She spoke to him in a harsh tone. Now, what's the figure of speech or the part of speech? Sorry, for this word harsh. Harsh describes the tone. So, a describing word is a word adjective. Can you remember that primary school definition? Adjective is a word used to describe a noun or a pronoun. So, a describing now, she spoke to him in a harsh tone. You could have said she spoke to him in a tone, or she spoke to him, finish. But harsh makes us know that she wasn't nice when she spoke to him. So it describes the tone or the manner at which she spoke to the man. So that's adjective right there. 48. Choose the best registrar or the contextual meaning. In law, the term plaintiff refers to what? Plaintiff. You always have two sides in the law court. You have the word the plaintiff and the defendant. That's one person drags the other person to court. So the person who brings the other person to court is what? The plaintiff. He is the one who goes to lay a lawsuit or a case file, that goes to open a case file with the court. So, and then the defendant is the accused. Yes. So the plaintiff is the person who brings the case. Good. Option C. Then 49. Lexis and structure. I will go with you. Dash, you don't drive too fast. Conditional statement. I'll go with you. What would be the condition here? That to complete this sentence, to make it have sense. I will go with you unless you don't drive too fast. No. Although you don't drive too fast. No. When you don't drive too fast. I'll go with you if. If is a conditional word there. And then the last number 50. Choose the word closest in meaning to tremendous. Tremendous means enormous, overwhelming, a lot, much. Yes. So tremendous, the closest meaning to tremendous is enormous. I hope you really enjoyed yourself as we went on this part 1 of the JAMB 2026 rigorous English past questions study. We're going to be making so many other episodes, including the literature in English, the literature novel. We'll be diving into it and all of that when it's released. Okay, for now, we have no idea of what it is, but we are giving you this to prep you, get you set for the JAMB 2026 that is in a few months. Now, how do you pass the JAMB exam? One, you start early. If you want to pass any exam, you need to start early. Maybe 30 minutes in a week, 30 minutes in a day. Whatever works for you, apart from your school activity. Once you can put in the work, why shouldn't you have 95 or 90 in an English test? You can, even if it's just to watch one video every day on English past questions. I'm sure that you'll be singing your desired song. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.